All right, so you guys wanted to hear more about this Cam Ward situation, huh? Well, we are going to deep dive into it today.
Yeah, this whole Cam Ward thing in the Pop-Tarts Bowl really got people talking.
For sure. And for those who might have missed it, we're talking about the Miami Hurricanes star quarterback, possible top pick in the 2025 draft.
Right, and the big question is, did he make the right call?
Yeah, he starts the game, plays like a man possessed in the first half.
Absolutely lights out performance.
190 passing yards,
Mm-hmm.
3 touchdowns, had the Hurricanes up 31-28 at halftime.
And then, boom, second half starts, and he's nowhere to be seen.
Poof, gone vanished.
Hmm.
Like a magician's rabbit.
Backup quarterback Emory Williams comes in, tries to hold it down, but
they lose?
Iowa State takes the win 42-41 nail-biter.
Total heartbreaker. So naturally, everyone's trying to figure out why Ward sat out that second half.
Especially with a performance like that in the first.
You'd think he'd be hungry for more, right? But one person who was not shy about sharing his opinion.
Oh, yeah. I think we all know who you're talking about.
Shannon Sharpe.
The one and only.
Hall of Famer co-host of Nightcap. And let me tell you, he did not hold back.
Not one bit.
He basically said, if Ward was so worried about getting injured before the draft, he should just stay on the sidelines the whole game.
Makes you wonder, right?
Totally. Sharpe even suggested that maybe Coach Cristobal didn't have a say in the decision.
Oh, interesting. Based on how Cristobal answered questions about it, Sharpe thinks it was all Ward's call.
Yeah, a lot of speculation flying around. But here's the thing. This whole situation, it kind of throws a wrench into the whole bowl game strategy for these top NFL prospects.
It really does. I mean, we've seen a lot of top guys opt out of bowl games completely lately, especially if it's not a playoff game.
Smart move. Protect yourself. Get ready for the draft.
Okay.
Ward playing half the game. That's a whole new ball game.
Yeah, no playbook for that one.
So what did Coach Cristobal actually say when reporters asked him about Ward's decision?
Well, he didn't exactly spill the beans.
Classic coach move.
Kept it tight-lipped. Said something like, conversations with players and decisions like that, we keep them private.
So basically, no comment with the side of respect my privacy.
Yeah, pretty much. But he did add, I know he played his best while he was in there.
Which I guess is true, but doesn't really answer the million-dollar question, does it?
Nope. So we're left with a big ol' mystery and a whole lot of opinions.
And that's where things get really interesting,
Mm-hmm.
because you've got people on both sides of this fence.
Oh, absolutely. Some folks think Ward threw his team under the bus, put his own interests ahead of everyone else's.
The whole me-first mentality.
Right. But then you've got others who are like, hey, this guy's got a potentially huge career ahead of him. Why risk it in a meaningless bowl game?
Tough call. It's not black and white. It's like 50 Shades of Gray.
More like 50 Shades of Controversy.
Exactly. And maybe there are things we don't know. Maybe there was some agreement with the coaches or a minor injury we haven't heard about.
Take B, there are always more pieces to the puzzle.
It's like trying to read a book with half the pages missing.
And that's why this is such a great topic for a deep dive, because there's so much to unpack.
So buckle up, folks, because we're just getting started.
I think what we really need to remember here is the bigger picture. You know, these guys, these college football players, especially the ones who are looking at the NFL, they're under a ton of pressure.
Yeah, it's like this huge weight on their shoulders. Make the wrong move, and your whole future could be down the drain.
Exactly. One bad injury in a bowl game and poof, millions of dollars gone.
And we're not even talking about the physical toll. It's the mental stress, too.
Absolutely. So then you've got this situation with Ward, right? Playing in a bowl game that doesn't even matter for the championship. Is it fair to bash him for thinking about his future?
Or should he have just sucked it up and played for the team and the fans?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's like this gray area. Where do you draw the line between personal goals and loyalty to the team?
And the thing is, this whole situation, it kind of highlights how much college athletics has changed.
It really does. It used to be all about playing for the love of the game. But now, it's a business.
These athletes, they're not just players anymore. They're brands, investments, walking endorsements.
And that changes everything, doesn't it? Suddenly, it's not just about winning or losing. It's about protecting your future earnings.
And it's not just football either. We see it in basketball, baseball, all these sports where college is basically a stepping stone to the pros.
Right. So how do we navigate that? How do we balance personal ambition with team responsibility?
It's a conversation we need to have. And it's only going to get more complicated as the money in sports keeps getting bigger.
Absolutely. But I think what's important is that we at least try to understand both sides of this.
Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in the emotions and start pointing fingers. But at the end of the day, this is Cam Ward's life. We got to respect his decision.
And acknowledge the pressure he's under. I mean,
Yeah.
just imagine being in his shoes for a second.
Yeah. You're this young guy. Everyone's telling you you're the next big thing. You've got a shot at the NFL, but one wrong move could ruin it all.
It's a lot to handle, so let's maybe cut him some slack. And instead of judging him, let's try to learn from this whole situation.
Use it as a chance to talk about the challenges these young athletes face.
Exactly. It's a complex issue, no easy answers, but it's a conversation worth having.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the fallout from all this. What do you think this decision might do to Ward's draft prospects?
That's the big question mark right now. Some scouts might see this and think, red flag. This guy's not a team player.
But others might see it as a smart business decision.
Right. They might think, hey, this guy's thinking long term. He's protecting his investment.
It'll be interesting to see how NFL teams react to this.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it'll be a hot topic in those pre-draft interviews. Oh, yeah. You know, those GMs and coaches, they're going to want to get inside his head, figure out what he was thinking.
Like a psychological evaluation?
Pretty much. They'll want to know if he's a leader, a team player, or just looking out for number one.
So this whole thing, it's almost like a test for Ward.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does he handle the pressure? How does he explain his decision?
Because let's face it, he's going to have to address it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the elephant in the room.
And depending on how he handles it, it could make or break his draft position.
No doubt. So let's try to see this from his perspective for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
You're Cam Ward. You're this hotshot quarterback. Everyone's saying you're going to be a star. You're playing in this bowl game, but it's not the championship.
And you know that one bad hit could change everything.
One hit, and your dreams could go up in smoke. So what do? Do you play it safe, or do you risk it all?
It's a tough call.
Yeah.
On one hand, you want to compete, prove yourself.
You want to win for your team, for your fans.
But on the other hand, you got to think about your future.
Your family, your career. It's a lot to weigh.
So I'm asking you out there, what would you do if you were in Cam Ward's shoes?
Would you play it safe or go all out?
It's a question we all got to ask ourselves. What are our priorities? What are we willing to risk?
And I think that's what makes this whole Cam Ward situation so fascinating. It forces us to confront these tough questions.
It's not just about football. It's about life choices, ambition, responsibility.
And the pressure that comes with being in the spotlight.
Exactly. So let's not rush to judgment here.
Let's try to understand all sides of the story.
And maybe learn something along the way.
Well said. I think that's a great place to wrap things up.
This Cam Ward situation, it's definitely given us a lot to think about.
It has. And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out for him in the end.
Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this is a story that's going to keep people talking for a while.
Absolutely. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll catch you next time.